over the last few days, Tim Hardaway Sr. has been just running around the media, just spreading nothing but hate-filled comments about the Dallas Mavericks, saying that the players don't like playing with Luka on the court, that the ball moves better without Luka. And just the other day, before our game against the Oklahoma City Thunder, Tim Hardaway Sr. went on some random podcast and said that apparently Tim Hardaway Jr. is our best shooter. And that Luka and Kyrie are refusing to get Tim involved, and that's why we're not winning games, and just spewed a bunch of nonsense. And I'm challenging that, because I don't believe that's true, and I have the data, I have the facts to back that up, that Tim Hardaway Sr., even though he was an assistant coach, even though he was a player, really isn't speaking from a place of actual basketball knowledge to believe that his son, Tim Hardaway Jr., is the best shooter on the floor, and that we're not trusting him, and we're not giving him opportunities. So we're going to break all that down in this video. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And if you guys could just stomp that like button for me for this video, we're trying to get to 350 likes. So like this video, I appreciate it, guys. But we got to talk about Tim Hardaway Sr. and all the quotes that he said over the last few days. But this quote right here, we're going to break down because it just doesn't make any sense. Tim Hardaway Sr. doesn't think the Mavs are utilizing Jr. very well, saying Tim is their best shooter on the court and they don't hunt for him. Everything is going to Luka and Kyrie. Now, y'all know how I like to go about these little debates whenever someone has something to say about the Dallas Mavericks team. I am a homer. You can say I'm biased. That's fine. But I will look at this from both sides. So, yes, a lot of things flow through Kyrie and Luka, specifically Luka Doncic. He's our number one option, our best player offensively. He's the guy who take the most shots on any other team. You have a player like that. The best player gets the most shots. Kyrie Irving, we already know how Kai does. Uncle Drew gets his in the second half, normally in the fourth quarter, but he's been doing it in the whole second half for these playoffs, so the ball's going to run through him. And obviously, the playmakers that Luka and Kyrie are, they get other guys involved. I mean, PJ's having a monstrous playoff run against the Oklahoma City Thunder, in part due to Luka Doncic and the way that he gets him open, the way that him and Kyrie get everybody open, and the way that Luka and Kyrie generate their own shots. So yes, the things are going to flow through your best players who both happen to be guards. But on the other side of that, your son is not the best shooter on the court, and that is just a fact. I understand Tim Hardaway Sr. was a coach. I understand he was a player, but that does not mean that that everything he says is true. And I got the data to back it up. So if we just look at this right here, these are the last few games of the regular season for Tim Hardaway Jr. Against the Thunder, he was 1 of 9. Before that, 3 of 6, 2 of 8, 6 of 10, 2 of 6, 4 of 13, 3 of 9, and 3 of 6. That's just from the floor, where his best game, he was 6 of 10 against Charlotte Hornets. He dropped 15 points. Okay, 60% from the floor. That's good. Another game, I think 2 games, he dropped 50%. Against the Golden State Warriors, he was 3 of 6. And against the Detroit Pistons, he was 3 of 6. That's cool. But let's look at that three-point shot, because you want to say he's the best shooter, so let's see what his shooting like. 1 of 6 from 3. 1 of 3 from 3. 1 of 6 from 3. 3 of 7 from 3. 1 of 4, 1 of 7, 2 of 7, 1 of 4, where his best was against the Charlotte Hornets, shooting 3 of 7, 42% from 3. He's shooting tour dates, dude. He's not the best shooter. And I'll give you this. If you think Tim Hardaway Jr. is the best shooter, if we look at his upside, because on his best day, he can shoot like Steph Curry, and that's a fact. On his worst day, he's Anthony Bennett. He's unplayable. He's just a scrub. He is unplayable. He doesn't play the best defense, but this is not Tim Hardaway slander, because as of late, he's playing very well. But Tim Hardaway Jr. can be the best, and his upside is just as bad, just as good as how bad his bad side is. Like, you take the good with the bad with Timmy. He's high risk, high reward. You never really know which version you're going to get. The other day in Game 2, we got a good Tim. 17 points off the bench. He was huge for us. Even in Game 3, I think he had about 8 points, but he was still doing a lot of the small things to help us win that game. But if we're going to sit here and say Tim Hardaway Jr. is the best shooter on the floor, you are not watching the Dallas Mavericks. I don't know if you're watching old footage. I don't know if you're playing 2K thinking it's real. I don't know if you need glasses. Maybe Kyrie being number 10 and Kyrie being number 11 and Tim Hardaway being number 10. You get them confused sometimes when Kyrie shoots. Like, wow, that's my son. We should give him the ball more. No, that's Kyrie. Tim, your son is on the bench. Your son's shooting tour dates. And again, no offense to Tim Hardaway, and it's unfortunate that whenever his dad speaks, he's got to be dragged into it. But I understand. That's your son. You're his father. You're very proud of your son. You want the best for your son, and I get that. And we've seen time and time again Tim Hardaway Jr. saying how what his dad thinks and what he says, those are his thoughts and his thoughts alone. They do not reflect Tim Hardaway. So I'm not saying that we should blame Tim Hardaway Jr. for what his dad is saying. They're both grown men. They can say whatever they want. But it seems like Tim Hardaway Sr. just gets a kick out of just putting the Dallas Mavericks down. I think it's very weird as a father to talk bad about the team that your son's on. Like he's the next coming of Michael Jordan. Well, if that's the case, why do we play better when he's off the court? Answer me that, Tim. But it doesn't stop there. We've got a little bit more that we're going to break down because his other quotes over the past few days have been just egregious. When Luka's not playing, the ball moves better. Tim Hardaway Sr. on the Dallas Mavericks. So we're going to break that down because you can argue that the ball moves more when Luka's off the court. Does it move better? Because if Luka's not on the floor, that means someone's facilitating. So you're saying when Dante Exum is facilitating, the ball moves better? He gets actual open looks. He sets people up. I'm no offense to Dante Exum. He's not doing it like Luka. Kyrie, sure. You can say that when Kyrie's on the floor, the offense runs differently. That's very true. But just because the ball moves more doesn't mean that it moves better. Luka is very good at creating shots for other players. And this right here will prove it. PJ Washington is shooting 71.4% from the three-point line off passes from Luka Doncic this series from against Oklahoma. We have seen PJ over the last 2 games be a monster for us on offense. In part due to Luka getting him good looks. We know that this team is great at giving guys good open looks. Luka has that gravity of himself on offense where he's going to just grab the double team. The offense will just gravitate towards Luka. Someone's open, and all you have to do is be ready. And PJ has been benefiting from that all series long. The proof is in the pudding, man. But what else did Tim Hardaway Sr. have to say recently? Well, check this out. About a week ago, before the series against Oklahoma City Thunder, Tim Hardaway Sr. just did it again. The day before starting our second round series, saying on the Carton Show just now, he said that it was Jalen Brunson that led the Mavericks to the conference finals, not Luka Doncic. The Knicks knew that. That's why they signed him. So you're saying that if Luka Doncic was the leader of the team taking us to the conference finals, which he was, that the Knicks would have signed him and not Jalen Brunson? That doesn't make sense. That is crazy. We all know what happened. Let's not fool ourselves. Luka was hurt. Jalen Brunson stepped up in a big way, showed the entire NBA world who he was. He was phenomenal for us in that series against the Utah Jazz. In Luka's absence, Jalen Brunson stepped up huge. Yes, but when we saw Julian Randle and Josh Hart coming to those games and sitting courtside, yeah, we knew that Jalen Brunson was gone. They were scoping him out. They were doing some recruiting, and Jalen Brunson was going to be a Knick. And not only did that happen, they also hired his father. Nepotism. It happened. More money, a better location. You're playing with your dad. Yeah, Jalen Brunson did that. I'm not going to sit here and say Jalen Brunson did nothing when we made it to the to the Western Conference Finals. But to say that he led the team and not Luka, like Luka did nothing, is wild to me. But of course, Tim Hardaway Sr., not only does he want to prop up his own son, but he's going to talk down on everybody, including Kyrie and Luka Doncic, and just bring Jalen Brunson into this for absolutely no reason, with no facts to prove it. And he has no quotes. He can't even say anybody on the team that agrees with that. He's just spewing just random nonsense. But I don't know. Tim Hardaway Sr., he's a father. He loves his son very much. He wants to see him do well, and I do too. And all of this ranting and rambling that I've done, I also want to see Tim Hardaway Jr. play well. We saw what he did in Game 2. He dropped 17 points off the bench. That's the Tim that we need. Maybe not every single night, because I don't think he could do that on any given night. On a consecutive basis. But on those random nights where we just need a bucket from somebody, I am thankful that Tim shows up when we need him to. And I think it's also up to Jason Kidd to know not to play Tim Hardaway if he's not having a good night where the rhythm is off. Put him on a short leash. But if he's feeling it, if he's hot, let him go. Because he not going to say he saved the team, but he's definitely come up in a big way to help us win these games. And I hope that he continues to help us win more to come, because the job's not done. We're up 2-1. We got 2 more to go. We'll be live Monday and Wednesday for those games. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for making this far into the video. Make sure you check out our Twitter and Discord. Link in the description below. Consider becoming a channel member. We are doing another free jersey giveaway. All you have to do is become a channel member, and you are in that giveaway. But until next time, y'all take care. I'll see you Monday. Peace.